They took Fear Factor, locked it in a house, and said, good luck. From panic attacks to gross challenges, I'm recapping every wild moment. This is Kinda Unhinged. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another Fear Factor House of Fear video, and we are on season 1, episode 7. So we begin this episode where we left off with the last episode, and we're down to Lance and Zach in the eating competition, and Lance is able to finish his pie before Zach, and Zach is eliminated from the competition. The evil villain is gone, but never fear, because a new villain has been crowned. Yes, Lance said that he is prepared and willing to be the next villain. So the next day, their challenge is to walk across a plank that is 120 feet up in the air, but they will be blindfolded while they do it, and they will do this in groups of 2, and the objective is to be the team to walk the furthest distance on the plank before falling off. So they were able to pick their own teammates in the order that they completed the eating challenge from the paint auction. So Danielle was the first person to pick, and she picked Ethan because she said that he's a strong player, so if they win, then she can try to strong arm him to pick somebody from his side to go into the end game, and if they lose, she wouldn't feel bad about him being eligible for the end game. So it was like a win-win situation. And then Rob was the second person to pick, and of course, we all thought he would pick Jaylene. He picks Dita. And Jaylene was offended because, like, why would you pick him? Like, you're not confident in me? But Chelsea picks Jaylene. So, of course, that makes Lance and Blake teammates. And Blake said that that's great because everybody else sucks anyway. So, Danielle and Ethan are the first team to walk across their plank. And when they get up there, Ethan is trying to give Danielle some pointers, but Danielle is so afraid, like her legs are so wobbly. It takes her a long time to even start walking. And Johnny keeps telling her, you just gotta start walking. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. And she's like, I don't know, maybe I should just do a run for it. I'm so wobbly, I don't know what to do. And Ethan's trying to tell her, well, stiffen your ankles up, because Ethan is doing really well in this challenge. But Danielle starts to walk across her plank, and she's just so wobbly that she falls right off. But instead of falling off on the side further from Ethan, she falls off on the side closer to him, and it hits his rope and knocks him off as well. So they only had a distance of 25.5 feet. And Lance and Blake were next. They were able to beat their distance by 6 inches. So next up was Rob and Dita, who did really great in this competition. They had an approach of just like kind of scooting their feet along, just going really, really slow, and they were doing great. They got pretty far out, and then they both started wobbling uncontrollably, and of course they fell down, but they set a new record at 32 feet. So Jaylene and Chelsea were the last team to go, and they were doing great, especially Jaylene. Like, she was almost at the end before she fell off, and they were the winners of this competition. And Johnny said that Jaylene walked further than anybody, and you know what, she definitely proved something to herself and to Rob. Never underestimate her, because they underestimated her yesterday in the eating competition because she was a vegan, and she nailed that. And then Rob underestimated her in this competition, and she nailed it, and she did better than anybody. So kudos to Jaylene. So when they get back to the house, the first look light comes on, and Jaylene and Chelsea go inside, and they see a bunch of mouse traps all over the floor, and then they see this like gross looking pie thing with maggots crawling all over it. So they're trying to go back and forth on who they think they should put in the end game. They're torn between Blake and Lance. Obviously Lance, because he gave Jaylene evil pie, and obviously Blake because he went against Tyler, and Chelsea was in an alliance with Tyler. So when they get to the end game, there are a whole bunch of mouse traps all over the floor, and there are podiums with mounds of cheese and maggots crawling all over it. And Johnny tells the players that they will have to walk across this floor covered in mouse traps, get to these cheese podiums, and use their mouth to find Fear Factor disc somewhere in these mounds of cheese. And there will be 4 of them. They have to get all 4 of them, and then they have to stick their hand into this mouse hole and let a trap snap on their hand. So Jaylene and Chelsea pick Blake to play in this end game. game. And Blake decides that he's gonna go big or go home, and he calls out Ethan. And everyone is surprised, but I'm not, because Blake, if he's anything, he's definitely ballsy. Then he goes in and he's like, you guys are all playing scared. It's like you don't know that only one person is gonna win the $200,000. Like, I didn't come here to make friends. We're not friends. I'm not gonna see these people after this is over. I came to win this money. And that's right. Like, we're at the point where y'all gotta throw them alliances to the side and y'all gotta start getting out good players, or y'all are gonna let Ethan or Dita win this game.
Yup, 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 yup.
So when they start this competition off, Blake starts off strong and he gets his first 2 discs before Ethan even gets his first disc. And once Ethan does get his first disc, Blake gets his third, and then he starts working on his fourth. But out of nowhere, Ethan catches up and gets his last 3 discs, and he wins the competition. And Blake was eliminated from the game. And I hope that the other players took heed to what Blake said and they stop playing scared and they start playing strategically and get some of these stronger competitors out so that they have a fighting chance. But that was it for this episode. You guys let me know what y'all thought about it in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you want more Fear Factor content, then go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.